Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Thursday, October 10th, 2013. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. We're going to start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. What you'll see here is that the futures are trading higher by about 12.5 to 13 points. You can see they were much higher earlier around 7 a.m., but they have come off those highs a little bit. But nonetheless, it is still a pretty solid bounce in the market. There are a few things going on. One, you have Jack Lew testifying right now in front of Congress. He's talking about how bad it will be to not raise the debt ceiling. And also, you have political leaders from the Republican Party meeting with President Obama today. So the GOP is going to meet with President Obama. I believe there's going to be 18 different politicians meeting with President Obama to try and hammer out some type of an agreement. There is a lot of chatter that there's going to be a short-term extension, so that'll give the markets a little bit of a little wiggle room here, so to speak, and the markets will catch a little bit of a bid. And I think that's what we're seeing for the most part this morning. But it looks like a short-term debt ceiling increase is very, very likely, at least in the near term. So we'll see how that happens. We'll see what comes out of this Jack Lew meeting. But right now, the markets are decently higher. You want to respect today's move because we are coming from an oversold condition on the charts, and we did hit a pretty important support level yesterday in two different indexes. So we'll see how these markets play out today. But for the most part, they're both holding up pretty well from what we could see. Earlier today, it looks like the Bank of England held their key interest rate at 0.5%. This is the same level it's been at since March 2009. They did not increase their quantitative easing, so they did not go ahead and buy more bonds. But either way, when you look at the European markets today, they're all higher, basically off of the debt ceiling news or possibility of a debt ceiling increase here in the United States. So the U.S. just pounding on more debt is likely, and the European markets are rallying off of that. You do have the London FTSE this morning, which is England. They can print their own money, is up 1%. German DAX is up 1.4%. French CAC 40 is up 1.6%. Italy and Spain are both up 1.8%. So it's a solid move in the European markets across the board. Last night in Asia, that was not the case. You did have the Shanghai Composite, I believe, trade down by nearly 1% for the most part. So no strength out of there. But you did have the Nikkei 225 index catch a decent bid last night. That finished higher by about 1.1%. So Shanghai down 1%, the Nikkei up 1%, and that's where we are. India was basically flat, and Singapore was up about 0.5% last night, the Straits Times Index. So we'll leave it there. There were just U.S. jobless claims were released. Claims went up 66,000. You do have a government shutdown to 374,000. So they just released U.S. jobless, weekly jobless claims. So I guess some parts of the government can work or open up. Other parts cannot. But I don't know if we should make too much out of it. You do have a lot of furloughs from government jobs. So again, U.S. Initial jobless claims jump by 66,000. And that's the headline that just was released just a few minutes ago. Looking at some stocks in the news today, the big stock that everybody should be following, at least at the moment, is Citrix, ticker symbol CTXS. This is a cloud computing play. It's one of the more popular stocks and a good company, but they are getting hammered today to the downside. We have some gap levels for this one, but the reason why I bring this up is that it's going to put all the cloud plays, all the cloud stocks in play today. So VMware, that's going to be volatile. You could watch it, stocks like Rackspace. That's another one that will be volatile. Anything in the cloud space, even Oracle, believe it or not, could be volatile due to this news from Citrix. So you want to watch all the cloud computing stocks today. They're the stocks that are going to be in the news. F5 is a candidate there. Salesforce is another one. So all of these stocks will be volatile. So there'll be opportunities in a lot of these different names for scalp trading in the cloud computing stocks. So that's where I'll be hunting this morning. I'll be looking at all the different cloud stocks as well as Citrix, which I do have a pretty solid level if it gets to it for a bounce play. So we'll see how that plays out going forward. Looking at oil this morning, light sweet crude at the moment is down about 5 cents. It was higher earlier. Now it's down to around the 101.56 level. So oil is slipping a little bit, but only down 5 cents this morning. If you take a look at the USO, which is a good proxy for light sweet crude, what you're going to see is that it's trading around 36.60. Nothing terrible, nothing great. Basically, right where it closed yesterday. Let's take a look at gold this morning. Right now, you'll see that gold is trading higher by about $4.10 to $13.11.40 an ounce. Let's take a look at the all-important GLD, which is the proxy for gold. You'll see that GLD is getting a little bit of a bid today. It closed at 126.11. It's trading at 126.58. So gold, we'll see if it can hold and maybe even move a little bit higher. Also, keep an eye on the dollar index today. U.S. dollar index is flat. If that moves lower, that will help gold, but I'm not sure the dollar is really going to go down all that much today. Also, when I look at the dollar yen chart, the one thing I notice here is that the dollar yen is catching a bid today. Keep an eye on this chart. If this chart goes down, starts to fall, dollar yen, that means money will come out of the S&P. Okay, the carry trade is really how the S&P is being funded right now. And if that chart goes up, the dollar yen chart, that will hurt gold prices. So dollar yen has more effect in the markets than most people think. Right now, it's a very, very important trade out there, and it's funding other trades because it's such a leverage play. So traders want to remember that going forward. I think I've covered everything that I wanted to talk about. We'll see what comes out of the president's meeting today. I think that is this afternoon, but Jack Lew is speaking right now, putting more fear into the market, saying we can't go over the debt ceiling, we can't default on our debt. But either way, the president is meeting with GOP leaders today, and we'll see how that all turns out. But be prepared, another volatile session, but we do have a pretty decent gap up to start the morning, so we'll see where this takes us. With that said, everybody, I want to leave it here. Have a great trading day, and we'll see you on the charts.